Grab out your planners because today we are going to go through 5 planner hacks that are easy, that anyone can do in any kind of planner. Let's jump into it. Hi, I'm Sarah Renee Clark, and I love showing people how to be more creative in their everyday life. And one of the ways that I love to do that is with planners. Now, I know there are plenty of you out there who love planners as much as I do, whether that is bullet journaling or whether that is your big coloring planner that you may have ordered from my website. So right now we're gonna jump into 5 easy planner hacks, and in next week's video, I'm gonna show you 5 more. So subscribe now and turn on notifications so that you'll get an alert as soon as that next video is ready. Let's get ready for our first planner hack. Now, if you love planners, I'm sure you also love washi tape. So of course we had to include washi in this first planner hack. So you can add washi tape down the side of your pages, either just to decorate, but you can also use it in a practical sense to mark certain months, to mark specific dates, or to quickly access certain pages. So you can also add washi tape down the side like little tabs. And in this instance, I've created a key at the start that shows what each of the tabs are. So this is really good if you have a planner that doesn't already have tabs in it, but you can also use this to highlight special dates like a birthday or maybe a special event that you really want to be able to access quickly, or maybe you can use it to mark your monthly goals or your budget tracker or some other section of your planner that you find yourself flipping to frequently. So I do this by getting a piece of washi tape. I use scissors to cut it so that it's nice and straight, and I put it on one side, and then I flip the page over and try to line up the other piece as well. And then I compare it to my others and give it a quick snip with the scissors to make sure the edges all line up. And it's as simple as that. And then we head to our key and we put our label on the key, and you can obviously make this look like whatever you want. And that is our navigation done, and it looks very pretty and it's super practical. So you don't just have to use washi for this. You can also use, if you've got your hands on some stickers. Now I've got dot stickers because that's easy, but really you could do this with any stickers. And you can do the same thing by placing different stickers along the edge of the page and folding them over. So when you actually look at the side of your planner, you can see the colors. They're not sticking out, so it's nice and neat, but just having that little bit of color will make it easy for you to navigate to these pages. So this can work in a traditional planner too, where we can simply grab our tape and we could either put a strip down the side, a strip on the top, we could use our dots, or we could create little tabs. Even though it's already got the big tabs, this is a really good way just to make another quick access to your main pages that you want to highlight. So in this case, I'm going to put a tab on our monthly spread so that it's nice and quick to access. So let's just pop this on this side, flip it over, pop it on the other side as well. I'm actually pretty happy with that, so I'm not even going to trim that down. But you could actually, in fact, let's show you, you could actually also trim this on the edges in a different way to give it a different shape if you don't like the square look. Something a little bit different, and there you go. So when you have your other pages turned, it's there. When you get to March, it's really easy to find, and that gets you to your monthly goals. So this actually already overlaps a little bit into my planner trick number 2, and that is color coding. Now in the example I just showed you, we already did some basic color coding in color coding different sections for our tabs, but we can take that a step further and actually apply color coding to everything we do to make things way more practical and a little bit prettier. So when it comes to color coding, you can do it in whatever way you want. You can use stickers, you can use your markers and actually write in the different colors. You can use your highlighters, get yourself, you can actually get like probably 20 different colors in highlighters. I've got a pastel set and I've got the traditional set here. So you can color code with highlighters. You can color code by getting broadliners or felt tip pens in all different colors. There are so many different ways, or you could even just do bullet points, or you could use your washi tape. There are so many different ways that you can add color, and of course, who doesn't love another excuse to add color? So the first example I've done of this is in my coloring planner, and I've just simply used a highlighter for different categories. I've actually got this cute little sticker set that was given to me by Moby & Co. So thank you, Moby & Co. Gorgeous little cats. And so I've used similar colors with my highlighters to separate my personal stuff. The kids with their school is in green, work-related stuff is in purple, and then I've got my house-related stuff like emptying the bins and cleaning in pink. So this is a very simple version of color coding, but the biggest way to make the most out of color coding is to actually create yourself a key. Now back to my bullet journal version for a second, and I have a very simple key here that is just separating the different people that are included in my calendar. Or another version of this would be to include different categories, which is kind of what I did in the big planner, but this one here has a lot more categories. But having this key in the back of your planner or on a separate little bookmark or something that you can attach in your planner is a great way to make sure that you always know what's happening, and it actually eliminates some of the extra notes that you need to include. For example, if I know that Shane has an appointment, by putting it in green, I know that that's Shane's appointment and I don't need to write his name in there 20 times as well. Now, I mentioned attaching your key, and the next planner hack is a fun way to do that, because planner hack number 3 is to create your own fold-out sections. You can create more space in your planner, customize your layouts, add your own templates, and get incredibly creative with fold-out panels in any kind of planner. Let me show you a few examples. So as our first example, we are going to sticky tape the key that we've made in the back of the planner. The reason I want to do it on the back page is so that it can flip out and flip in and be really, really useful at any point, while also being hidden when I don't want it to be visible. It also means it's not going to fall off or get lost at any point like a bookmark would. So that's one really good way to do this. But let me show you a few other ways that we can do this. So when it comes to fold out sections, there's not really a right or wrong way to do this. You can use sticky tape, you can use washi tape, you can use glue, you can use double-sided tape, or you can come up with a whole nother option. So I'm going to show you a few different ways. The first key that we made was just with sticky tape. For the next one, I've actually grabbed a printable version of my coloring planner. Now, not every planner that you buy is going to offer a printable option as well. So you can either find other printables online that you can use as your fold out sections, or you could just use blank pieces of paper. Or if you want to do like what I'm doing specifically, you could actually photocopy the pages that you're working in. But if you have the coloring planner, this is actually a printable version that you can buy either in a bundle or as well. So I have here my contacts page, and I have cut out the contacts page from the printable version of this page. And there are a few different ways we can do a fold out. Now, because I've cut the border off, we're not going to do a whole page fold out, but we can do a fold out. We could either add it to the bottom, or we could add it to the side, or we could even add it halfway if we only want maybe a partial fold out. So we only want to add a few more names. In this case, I'm actually going to add it here so that we can add a whole section of new names, and the whole piece is going to fold over. But the alternative, and I'll show you an example of that soon, would be to do it here, and that way you can actually glue the back on and you're just folding a little section. So because I'm doing it from the edge, glue's not going to work because I want to fold it along my cut line. So I'm going to use probably washi tape in this instance. I used sticky tape on the last one, so I'm just going to sticky tape along the outside, but I'm actually going to use washi tape this time, although you know what? I'm actually going to use sticky tape because I don't want to lose the pretty artwork around the edge. And if you were going to color this in, I would recommend coloring it in before you do this, because obviously you're not going to be able to color on the sticky tape. Now, oh dear. Okay, this is not working well. Now, when you're sticky taping, if you're wanting it to look nice and neat, you really want to sticky tape the whole edge. But you don't want to sticky tape past the edge because otherwise it's not going to fold. So this is a very messy way to do this, but basically I'm going to sticky tape this to the table without actually taping it to the table, just so that I can get it on this piece, and I'm only going to sticky tape half the tape, and then I'm going to trim off the extra. So let's just stick that down. I'm sure that there is a better way to do this, but this is how we're doing it. And I've actually done a really bad job of that. That's okay, we get the point. We're gonna cut off the edges so that it doesn't go past the edge, otherwise we'll lose our fold. Okay, and then we're going to attach it on here where we want it to fold. So let's make sure we haven't got it upside down. I'm gonna pop it here. And there we go. Now you can tape it on the inside if you want as well, but you will find that that will make it a lot harder to keep closed. That's why I've only taped it on the outside. So that is that. And then you can cover the front with stickers or put a nice big picture, or you could actually print it double-sided and have even more contact spots. You can pretty much do whatever you want on the other side. So that's one example of a fold-out section. So I've also printed off a goal tracker from my goals page. Now for this one, I could do the same as I did for the contact page and fold it in, but what I'm actually going to do is show you a glue option. So we're going to glue on the back of this panel, and I'm going to stick it on this empty space here because I don't actually have another use for that space. So we're going to stick it there and we're going to fold it from here. So there we go. So now we have room for a lot more goals on our goal page. And again, on the back, you could put more of these goal boxes. Oops, that's not folded very straight. Or you could put a nice big motivational quote or something fun and fold out your goals. So probably the best way to use this is if you've bought a planner that has 90% of what you want, but it's missing just that one thing. I know a lot of people love buying something like the coloring planner, but they also want to add like a budgeting or a finance add-on that's not included. So you can find any printable online. There's plenty of free options around, or you can look on Etsy, or you can look in other places. Grab the free page that you want to print of that different planner and actually create that as a full page fold out in your planner where you expect to use it. So as this example, I have printed off a gift list that's going to be in my Christmas bundle this year. And I'm going to attach it in December. I'm actually going to attach it, let's think, at the start of December. That makes more sense to me. I'm going to put it with the month spread, and I'm actually going to make a full page fold out. So we're going to do this like we did the key at the back, where we're going to attach the whole page. And for this one, I'm going to use this gorgeous washi tape that I picked up from Hobby Hoppers. They sent this to me and I think it is really cute and quite Christmassy, being gold. So I'm going to use that on this example. So you might have noticed that when I did our key at the back, I actually did the sticky tape on the inside. But on this one here, I've done it on the outside. Now, both of these methods work. The main thing is that you don't do it on both because that will make it a lot harder to fold. So pick one or the other. Both actually work. It's really just where it's more convenient and where's prettier. In this case, I actually like having it on the outside because then I get my nice washi down the side of the page, like we talked about in that first planner hack, where now I can find that gift list no matter where I am in the planner. It's quite easy to find. It also gives me lots of space now, like we talked about, that you can now use this page for something else as well. We could put a nice pretty picture on this, or we could put another printable on the back if we printed it double-sided, and we have our wonderful Christmas fold out. So if you thought fold out sections were kind of cool, I think you're gonna love this next one, and that is what we call a Dutch door. Now, traditionally when I think of Dutch doors, I think of those old doors in houses that I used to think was really cool as a kid, where it had the split in the middle so you could just have the bottom closed and have the top open. kind of in hindsight would have been really handy as a baby gate. Maybe that's what they're for. But that's actually something we can do in our planner. Now that might still sound a bit confusing, so let me show you a few examples of what I mean. First of all, I did this last year in my 2020 planner just as an example. And can I just say for a start, how cute are these little clips from Hobby Hoppers? So cute. So I decided that I didn't actually need a lot of planning space for each of my weeks, and I wanted to see my monthly notes and tasks every month. So to do so, I simply cut the pages in half. Now that may seem horrifying for a planner like this with all the decoration, so this may be something better suited to bullet journaling, which I'll show you in a second, but this just shows one example of how this can work. So in this case, I have literally cut along the page so that I have a half size of each of my weeks, and you can see my monthly page behind. Now, bullet journal version of this. Let's have a look. Now, I do think this is much better in a bullet journal. So I have two examples to show you. The first example here is in my November spread. Now, I haven't filled this out, but you can get the idea of what I've done. We have our calendar that didn't quite fit on one page, so it's actually gone over the page. But look at this. We have more space for something else. So I can still put notes here. I can use this extra space, and it's actually a really cool and kind of fun little flippy thing here. So that is one way to do a Dutch door, and it's surprisingly easy to do. But first, let me show you another example. So I also created an example in this bullet journal of a September spread. Now in this case, I've decided to do the entire month, but rather than having to keep my trackers and everything separate, I wanted to be able to see them at all times. I also wanted to be able to, at a quick glance, see my goals, see my month spread, and I didn't want to have to decorate every single page with all of these coloring stickers. So I have used the Dutch door method, and I've actually done it for a few different weeks just for my week panel here. So I have redrawn my Monday to Sunday each week, and as you flip through, all of them remain in September. Now this is actually quite easy to do. So I'm going to show you quickly how to do these examples, and then I'm going to work on one that's a little bit more creative for those of you who want to use this even just for something fun and decorative that'll have people going, what? How did you do that? So let's do that together now. So starting on a new blank page, what you want to do first is think about what your layout is going to look like to work out where your Dutch door is going to go. So if we want to replicate the month spread like I've got here, you can see here the only part that is a Dutch door is this little section here. So if we were to recreate this on a new page, what we're going to do, and I would get a grey lead and just sketch this out, is you actually want to draw out where your month is going to be very lightly so that you can rub it out later. And we'll just draw a quick line across here and down here. And I would even go as far as actually drawing out your calendar to make sure you have enough room, because the last thing you want to do is cut and get it all ready and then find out that you needed just one extra row of dots. That's really annoying. So work out your space, and once you've worked out where your calendar is going to go, it's as simple as cutting around this line. Now, once you've cut your two lines, you can very carefully just rip this last page out of the center to get a nice neat edge, and there you have it, your Dutch door. It's as simple as that. So you can actually do this to any size. You can do it for a half page, a whole page. You can do it any shape. And just to show you something creative, I'm going to take one now to do something that's purely for decorative purposes, just to show you how you can use this in a different way. And I would love to see how you can use this either in the coloring planner or in your own planner or in your bullet journal. And I'd love you to show me in my Facebook group. So I'll pop a link in the description below. Please head on over, join the group, and show me your Dutch doors. So for this example, I have got my set of coloring stickers that you can actually find on my website. And I'm going to create a bit of sticker artwork, kind of like a coloring page built into my planner. And then we're going to cut it out with a Dutch door to make it really interesting. So I'm going to do this from a top-down view, and I'm going to speed it up and put a little bit of music on it just for fun. But if you have any questions about the process, feel free to ask them in the comments. So my final hack is to use sticky notes. Now this might feel obvious because obviously you can put a sticky note in your planner and you can remove it, you can write a shopping list on it, take it with you to the shops, all that kind of stuff. But there are a few other little ways that you can use post-it notes. And in particular, you can use clear post-it notes like these ones that I was sent by Chasing Planner Peace. Now, the bonus of a clear post-it note is that you can see everything behind it. So not only can you use it for things like your shopping list, which you can also do with a normal post-it note, but obviously yellow ain't so pretty on my pretty design here. So let's just say we wanted to put our shopping list here, well, our dinner list, I should say, I can then remove this, take it with me to the shops or push it to the next week, or I can use it to draft my ideas. So I can plan my week, and if I don't like what I've planned, it's okay. It's on a removable post-it note. I can swap it over. The other benefit of the clear post-it notes is that you can test stickers, because these clear post-it notes actually have a bit of a plasticky kind of finish to them. And you could actually probably use tracing paper for the same kind of thing if you pop it down on your page, and then you can test out your stickers. So since I've got them here, let's add a cute little doggy to my page. Doesn't need to match because we're just testing. And I can pop it right down on here to see how it looks on my final page. And if I don't like it, I can simply take it off. And the good thing is, because of the surface of this, or the same if you're using tracing paper, you can simply take the sticker back off and use it again. So it's a great way to test out your stickers with either post-it notes or with that tracing paper or wax paper. So these are just 5 simple hacks that you can use in any planner, no matter what kind of planner you're using, whether you are a bullet journaler or whether you have the coloring planner or whether you have another planner completely. And I have 5 more planner hacks that I'm going to be sharing in my next video. So please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you are the first to know when that one is available. I'm also going to be listing all of the resources that I've used and detailing these hacks as well as the next video's hacks in my blog post. So you can click on the I above to access that, or you can find a copy in the description below. It has all of these tips and some more little tips, plus some more photos from other people that have sent them in. If you have your own planner hacks that you'd like to share with me, please leave a comment below, or you can post them in my Facebook group, which I have a link to in the description. Or if you use hashtag Sarah Renee Clark or tag me on Instagram, I might share your beautiful planners in my stories. Thank you for joining me today. Please remember to subscribe and check out next week's video when it comes on 5 more planner hacks. In the meantime, here's another video for you to check out.